Donald Trump has officially broken Gavin Newsom's brain after announcing 100% tariffs on Gavin's favorite hair gel, of which he reportedly orders 1 pallet per month of. Now, obviously I'm joking, but smash the like button if that sounds believable. But the real reason Gavin Newsom is unraveling in real time is because his master strategy to catapult himself into national political stardom, to be the great white savior of the Democrat Party, to drag them from the pit of abyss and stand and fight against Donald Trump by disenfranchising Republican voters and further gerrymandering California more than it's already been gerrymandered, is blowing up right in his face. Gavin took a massive risk with this move, and now his presidential aspirations, fueled by desperation, hair gel, and a severe case of Trump derangement, are crumbling right before his eyes. And now Gavin is resorting to even more humiliating measures to try and save face. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel, but we're gonna get right into the derangement. Here's Gavin having a breakdown and screaming at fellow Democrats that they're being too weak and need to fight Donald Trump harder.
There's literally no more evidence than you need than the evidence that has been submitted in the first 6.5, 7 months of the Trump administration. And you think this is going to get better? You think if we just say, well, Mr. Trump, it's fine. We know it's a race to the bottom. You may call upon those other states. Can you just do 5 and California will stand down?
Yeah.
God damn it, enough.
Yeah.
Democrats, stop being weak. Step up. These guys have been dominating the narrative. They have been defining the terms of the debate. It's time to get on our off our heels, onto our front toes. It's time to do just that. Dominate the narrative, flood the zone, and surround sound. It's time for us to all band together.
Now, of course, being the governor of California, he has mastered the California word salad. He says a whole bunch of nothing and pretends like it's profound. To recap, his brilliant wisdom for the Democrat Party is to dominate the narrative, flood the zone, and surround sound. I mean, what do any of those things mean? He thinks he's sounding poetic and deep. But the one thing that stands out to me, and it's at the very beginning of the clip, you guys can rewind it to listen, is the Democrats' over-adoption of the word literally. We know Democrats have been on a crusade the last 10 years trying to redefine every word to fit their arbitrary meaning for it. And their rhetorical chop shop is supported by their overuse of the word literally. We all take literally to mean the definition of. When you use literally to prelude something, you're implying there is no debate. It's not up for interpretation. It's not subject to perspective or scrutiny. It is, by definition, the thing I'm saying. And they use it to stifle criticism of their delusional statements. They use it to try to bring objectivity to statements and narratives that are completely subjective. They'll completely change the definition of a word that's supposed to carry emotional gravity. Say that something is literally that thing based on their new definition, but expect it to carry the same amount of emotional outrage as the original definition that most people associate the word with. That's why enforcing the law is fascism. Someone who thinks kids shouldn't be sterilized and surgically mutilated is a Nazi. Detention centers for migrants are concentration camps, but they'll say it's literally a concentration camp. And your eyes will see a normal migrant detention facility, but they want your heart to see Nazi Germany Auschwitz concentration camps. Now, in this next part, Gavin Newsom has a bit of a therapy session and admit what's going on in his mind. That his entire world and everything he does, the moral compass that he follows, the behaviors he engages in, are all predicated around his obsession of Donald Trump. Take a look.
It's the rule of Don, no longer the rule of law. And people need to understand the lines that are being redrawn in Texas are not about party, they're about power. And you've got to meet fire with fire, and power needs to be asserted in blue states, not just red states. Our state of mind has to be more firm, more resolved, and more aggressive.
Is it just me, or does nobody think higher of Donald Trump than Democrats? They're the ones who think he determines the rules, he determines the narrative. They are completely obsessed and reactive to Donald Trump. That's what's caused Gavin Newsom to embrace this new humiliating strategy where he's trying to mimic Donald Donald Trump on X, and we'll show you that a little bit later in this video. But they keep talking about what Texas is doing is somehow unfair. Let me give you the stats. In Texas, Kamala Harris received 42% of the vote, and 36% of the House of Representatives from Texas are Democrats, so that's a pretty close margin. In California, 40% of the population voted for Donald Trump, yet they only have 17% of the congressional seats. This is the exact same case in Illinois and New York, the other extremely Democrat gerrymandered states that are now trying to complain about fairness. Anybody with half a brain realizes by this point any accusation by the Democrats is just projection. If they accuse Donald Trump of doing something, it's because they do that thing themselves. And they're just mad that the Republicans haven't used their dirty little trick yet, and therefore have room to apply pressure and leverage in a way that Democrats can't. And they are pulling their hair out because they're out of moves. And it's obvious that the Democrats are terrified the Republicans are using the tools available at their disposal. Because for the party that pretended to be morally superior and condemned Donald Trump as some authoritarian who doesn't play by the rules, because they can only do their moral grandstanding if they have power. Now that the possibility of their power getting taken away from them is a reality, they've decided they're going to try to copy everything about Donald Trump. His mannerisms that they claim they hate, his aggressive political strategies which they claim are authoritarian. And now Gavin Newsom has gone so far as to copy Trump's signature all caps tweets and try to fire back at Donald Trump. Here's Gavin Newsom being asked to read one of these extremely cringy tweets, and even he is embarrassed because he knows it's humiliating. Take a look.
I have a tweet here.
Which one's this?
This is, well, what I would love is to have you read this in your voice. If you'd like to just take a shot at it.
Well, I mean, wow. Tomorrow history will be made. Now, I'm not going to be as effectively as the person that you may recognize is on Truth Social, but in this case, we pushed this out on Twitter. Caroline Leavitt will have no answers for this.
Well, hold on. I don't want you to breeze right through the brilliant. Go on. It's not just Caroline Leavitt.
Caroline
Leavitt, that's right.
Of no answers for the supposed fake media about California's beautiful, big, beautiful maps. People are saying that that were the greatest maps. They're just saying this. They are, Brian. People are saying they're greatest maps.
Many people have heard that.
Ever created. Even better than Christopher Columbus's. Donald the Failure Trump, be warned that tomorrow may be the worst day of your life, all because you missed the deadline. He misses a lot of deadlines. Liberation Day for America, GCN. I should have said thank you for your attention to this matter.
Now, that was Gavin doing an interview with Democrat hack Brian Tyler Cohen, who is just a shameless Democrat bootlicker. Gleefully asked Gavin to read this tweet because in his pathetic, desperate Democrat mind, this is the greatest thing ever. Gavin Newsom mimicking Donald Trump like he's a 4-year-old child is just hilarious comedic gold to this guy. But Gavin Newsom was hesitant to read the tweet because he knows it's cringe. He knows it's childish. He knows it's desperate, it's inauthentic, it's contrived. This was clearly a stunt by his PR team, who's haphazardly trying to save face after Gavin's proposal to redistrict and further gerrymander California fails to get any support with the citizens. In fact, 2/3 disagree with abandoning their independent redistricting committee, and only 1/3 support it. And I believe 2/3 vote is actually needed for them to pass it and do their redistricting plan to fight Texas. Gavin was reading the tweet in such a boring and dull way because he can't even confidently mimic Trump. He knows that the optics of a grown man, the governor of the largest state in America, someone who lambasts Trump all day, now mimicking that person in the most elementary style, are terrible optics. And of course, the Democrats, overeducated, pretentious, drowning in student loan debt, and constantly seeking validation that they're so super smart, have concluded that MAGA's just too stupid to understand the joke. When they see MAGA asking why Gavin Newsom is tweeting this way, they see it as some high-level 4D chess move. Gavin's tweeting in all caps and mimicking mimicking Trump's mannerisms so you guys can call it out for being stupid and childish, exposing that what Trump does is stupid and childish. Haha, we got you, we're so smart. But because everything they do comes from a place of self-aggrandizement, they can't even understand that the criticism isn't about the caps and the attacks on people. It's that the Democrats are so void of creativity. They're so void of a personality, of uniqueness, of authenticity, that they're stealing Donald Trump's style, which is completely unique to him. Yeah, we know the all caps is goofy. We know he's trolling with his constant attacks and nicknames of people, but it's not contrived. It is Donald Trump. It's unique to him, and that's why it's so profound and culturally impactful. But let's look at some of the tweets Gavin Newsom is trying to put out to somehow own Republicans. Here he is as a strong, patriotic man with an American flag proudly in his hand. Here he is pretending to be Jesus wrapped in an American flag. I'll never understand the left's contempt with Christianity, and then they'll constantly try to use Christianity as an explanation for why Republicans ought to support liberal policies. They'll say, you have to support mass illegal immigration because Jesus says you have to love immigrants and be compassionate. But then they'll turn around and criticize Christianity as some fanciful fairy tale that only dimwits believe in. Here's another one of him doing a parody of Donald Trump with a crown on his head for Time magazine. Here, I'll throw the Trump one on the screen side by side. Here's a doozy. Many people are saying, and I agree, that I, Gavin C. Newsom, America's favorite governor, deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. Why? Because of the most incredible maps in the history of mapping, even Columbus. These maps will end the very rigged elections, make America great again, MAGA, retake Congress for the people, and save democracy. Nobody else could have done this, certainly not the self-proclaimed master dealmaker Donald Taco Trump Tiny Hands, who missed the deadline and lost sad peace through maps. No one has ever thought of this before. I am the peacetime governor now, stopping political wars before they start. Harmony, unity, even love. The Nobel Committee has given this award to lesser people for much less. I, Gavin C. Newsom, actually earned it. The world will be safer, kinder, and frankly more beautiful because of my maps. Give Gavin the Nobel. Many are saying, thank you for your attention to this matter. GCN. So it's not clever, it's not witty, it's not funny, it's simply humiliating, but these shameless Democrats are just desperate for any kind of hope, any kind of feeling that they're back in the fight, and are willing to overlook the fact that less than a year ago, Gavin Newsom let the city of Los Angeles burn to the ground. But hey, he's tweeting like Donald Trump now, so we're back in the fight, boys. But Gavin Newsom announced that on Liberation Day, he would be announcing his plans to redistrict California. Let's hear a piece of his speech from Liberation Day.
Wake up, America. Wake up. You will not have a country if he rigs this election. You will have a president who will be running for a third term. Mark my word. I wasn't exaggerating when I said that I received in the mail a Trump 2028 hat from one of his biggest supporters. These guys are not screwing around. The rules do not apply to him. The most corrupt president in history. He doesn't believe in free enterprise, crony capitalism. He is wrecking this country, wrecking the economy. He's a lawless president. Wake up, America. Wake up to what's going on.
So the Democrats, and to use their term, are literally repeating the exact same talking points over and over again. They're just recycling them. What did he say that was anything different than what they said during the entire election campaign? It's like one of those dolls with a string that has preloaded phrases, and after about 6, it'll just recycle. You pull a Democrat and they'll say, Donald Trump's a fascist. Donald Trump's a threat to democracy. Donald Trump is breaking the law. Donald Trump is unconstitutional. And then they repeat the entire thing ad nauseum. So while Gavin Newsom's trying to lead the Democrat Party with vigor, with fight, with energy, with trying to pretend to be Donald Trump on X, Donald Trump displays what real power is and makes a fool of Gavin Newsom and every corrupt Democrat California lawmaker, arresting their true constituents, the illegal aliens, right outside of this protected Liberation Day event.
What the fuck is wrong with you? People working! Go arrest fucking criminals! What the fuck are you doing? I'm calling about this type of work!
Right behind you, brother.
You guys are fucking cowards!
All
All of you are fucking cowards!
Watch out. You got another one with him? I'll keep you going.
Well done, John. Well done.
Greg, Mr. Bohino from Fox 11. Can I get a quick comment?
Hey, what's going on here?
How you doing? What happened?
We're here making Los Angeles a safer place. Since we won't have politicians that'll do that, we do that ourselves.
The real reason the Democrats are mad at Trump is because all of these career politicians, these useless, ineffective bureaucrats, are upset that this outsider has invaded their precious political domain and become the biggest political icon in a generation. They enjoyed their corruption, their power, their control, their ability to waste taxpayer money with zero accountability. Now Donald Trump has shown people that you can actually be an effective politician if you want to. And now all of these Democrats who are void of intelligence, who are void of competence, who are void of morals or skills or honesty, now are going to be held to a higher standard. But the problem is they have no action plan on how to tangibly fight Donald Trump. It's just senators barging into ICE facilities and getting arrested, barging into press conferences and getting arrested, performative theatrics and trolling on X pretending to be Donald Trump. And Donald Trump just simply shows Gavin Newsom that he's still in charge and sends ICE right outside of Gavin's event. And this obviously sends Gavin off the deep end. Watch.
Well, I think it's pretty sick and pathetic. And it just said everything you need to know, the setting that we're under. That they chose the time, manner, and place to send their district director outside right when we're about to have this press conference. It said everything you know about Donald Trump's America. And that was top down. You know that for a fact. They'll deny it, I'm sure. Maybe they won't deny it. It said everything you know about the authoritarian tendencies of the President of the United States.
He and the Democrat Party are frustrated because they are at a historic low favorability. They are powerless and at the mercy of Donald Trump, and they expect him to take it easy on them. They're mad because they're the little brother, and the big brother, Donald Trump, has them pinned to the ground with a giant loogie dangling right above their face by a thread. And they can do nothing but kick and scream and cry to mom for help. And they try to call foul and claim that Donald Trump's being unfair, when they would and definitely have done the exact same things whenever they're in power. Gavin Newsom will unapologetically call Donald Trump the most corrupt president in history, completely disregarding that the last president, his party's president, was brain dead in office for 4 years. The American people were duped. They were deceived. They were lied to that they had a functioning president. The democratic process was outright stolen from them. But Donald Trump's the most corrupt because what? He realizes the 2020 census overcounted blue states, undercounted red states. Illegal immigrants are counted in the population for apportionment. The 3 biggest blue states only have 15% Republican congressional representation, despite 40% of the votes from those 3 states being for Donald Trump. And Trump says, you know what, Texas, do what's legally within your power and let's balance the playing field. The Democrats are mad. They're getting beat at their own game by an outsider. And Gavin Newsom gets more unhinged every day as he realizes his presidential aspirations are dying in real time. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on those notification bells so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.